All right, you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over just the setup of how you would actually draw or begin to set up your drawing from a grid. So this should look very familiar to you. The only difference is there's a little hole cut out, so just ignore that for right now. So posted on Google Classroom, you do have the step-by-step instructions on how you begin to prep your paper for actually doing a drawing from a grid. But I'm going to break this down a little bit for you. I think it would help me for somebody to show me, especially if I was at my house. So hopefully you have this. If you don't have this, let me know and I can mail this little piece of acetate to you. But what you're going to end up doing is you're going to take this acetate off of your paper, and like I said, ignore these cutouts for right now. And let me move this so y'all can see. All right, what you're going to end up doing with this acetate eventually is you're going to put this on top of this. But what will happen, y'all, ignore that I have this over this right now. What you are going to do, if you haven't done this already, and you aren't expected to have done this already, but for this, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to draw a border around your cut and paste assignment. And what I ended up doing, my border actually kind of, there's not hardly any negative space. You can kind of see it hits almost on his hat there, and there's not much space here. So if you could make it pretty tight right there all the way around it. If you have a decorative border, that's fine, you could use that. But ultimately what's going to happen with your final big sheet of paper, it's not really all that big, it's just twice as big as that. This sheet of paper, let me zoom out just real quick for y'all to see. This is the thing that your drawing is going to be on is actually twice as big as what your cutout sketch thing that you guys did is. So anyway, so what's going to happen, y'all? Let me go back over here. What's going to happen is you are going to draw a border. You're going to take your ruler and measure your border, and I would go ahead and write out the measurements right here. So mine is 4.5 by 4 right there. And then what you're going to end up doing is hopefully you'll see this on the camera, but I'm lining up the edge of one of my gridded lines with the edge. You can kind of see this edge, it lines up, it's going over that, and then this lines up with the top edge, and then I have one lining up with the bottom. So you're going to take that grid off of the original paper and you're going to place it on here. And this is going to be the grid that you're going to be using as you're drawing. So this is going to be the way that you observe this as you go. So what you will do, and this is up to you guys, and certainly I'm not telling you to come up here or anything like that, but if somebody from your home wanted to actually come up here and pick up a piece of drawing paper, they can. Or literally, this is 8.5 by 11. This is the size of a piece of typing paper. So if you can't come up, and let me know, you can send me a little email if you wanted to come up, say today or tomorrow, and pick up a piece of art paper, you can. But I will say, if you have plain white paper at your home, it will work just fine for what you need to do. But what you're going to end up doing with this, you are going to, all right, so let's go back. Your original sketch, this thing is 4.5 by 4. This is mine. Yours probably will be a different size. So multiply that by 2, it will be 9 by 8. So hopefully you have a ruler at your house, If you don't, let me know, and you could pick one up from here, or you could go to the somebody might could go to the store and get a ruler, but I'm assuming you have one at your house. So what you're going to end up doing when you're measuring this thing, and let me zoom in just a little bit so you can see with my ruler, with the ruler here on this paper, what you're going to do is you're not going to start with the very edge. Whoopsies. With the very edge of this ruler here, you're going to start at this first little tick line. And this first little tick mark is going to line up. I'm just lining it up with the edge of my paper. You don't necessarily have to do that. Let me zoom out just so you guys can see what's going on. So anyway, what y'all are going to do is you're going to line this up, and you're going to make a mark. My mark is at 8 inches. You can do that. And usually, if not always, when you make your mark, if you have 2 marks, like I might have one here and one here, you'll end up with a straight line. Usually if you have that, if your marks are in the right place, you can draw a straight line. And then you can do the same thing. I'm getting to 9 inches right here, so I'm just my first little mark here to my 9 inches. I'm measuring that, and then I'm going to move this over. I'm making 2 marks here, and that's going to be my perimeter. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to do, is just draw the outside perimeter. The second thing that you're going to end up doing, now your grid right here is, and y'all probably remember this is a 1/4 of an inch by a 1/4 of an inch. So you would essentially multiply that by 2, and that would end up being a 1/2 of an inch by 1/2 an inch. So what you'll end up doing with your ruler, and I hope y'all can see this, I'm kind of trying to get it to where it's clear, but you would end up, you're going to start your ruler where you started it before, and you're going to make little tick marks and make them at every 1/2 an inch, just as you go, and just keep on making your marks. And then what you'll do, it's the same thing, you'll end up, if you have 2 marks, you'll be okay to make a straight line. So I hope y'all can see that. Make your mark down here. And then on this video, when you look at this is extremely light, these lines that I made for this, and I want your lines to be very, very, very light. So you're going to end up connecting these with a very light line and connecting them that way. I'll show you. Let's see here. Let's see if we, okay, I have here to here, do that. Okay, I'll show you how light you can make it. So I'm like barely touching my paper. I'm not being very aggressive with it, because ultimately these lines are going to disappear. So you have this. The next thing that you're going to end up doing here is, I have this, and this may be a problem for you guys who are actually at home, but I'm gonna go ahead and go over it with y'all. If you do not have an X-Acto knife, this may be an issue for you guys. So I can't very well let you check out an X-Acto knife from school because it's a weapon. But what you're going to need to do, and I don't know if, it would be a little bit difficult, I would think, to do this with scissors, but ask your parent if they have an X-Acto knife, if they don't, I mean, they're pretty cheap. They sell them at Walmart. I don't know if somebody can get out and get them. But what you're going to end up doing, and just ignore these little peepholes and imagine that I haven't done any of this. What you're going to do is you're going to cut out with this X-Acto knife a viewfinder, peephole, or whatever you want to call it. So you're going to go over the corner of this line and go down. I usually hold it as I go. I turn this around now I gotta find where I was, as I go, and then I'm going over my corner. I'm holding the center of this thing so it doesn't move, and I go a little past my corner, and then I'm turning it, and then I'm holding the corner, and I'm going down. You have to be slightly aggressive with this. One thing that I can do for you guys, if you do not have a X-Acto knife, one thing that I could do for you guys is literally mail this piece of paper to you. So let me know through email if you need that. That could definitely be a solution. Okay, so the purpose of this, let me show you. I'm zooming out. All right, so the purpose of this is, okay, so when you're drawing this, you're going to cover up every space except for that one thing. So that's like the top of his little hat right here, or it might be right here. And you'll end up drawing that one little section. After you draw that one little section, you move over to the next section and you draw that section. And as you go, I go over this in the next, I think there's 2 little videos attached. The next little video kind of goes over what I just said over here, but I don't feel like it covers it as well. The third video that's going to be attached, look at that, because it goes through the drawing stages of this particular assignment. So you're not that behind. We just did this today. So what I'm going to be going over the next little video is this, how you actually would draw from a grid. So just email me if you have any questions and keep me posted. You can send me works in progress and all the things. So anyway, all right, have a blessed one.